Yo, today is the day, baby. We're going stage 2. So today we're going to install the Grimmspeed Cat J pipe. I also ended up getting the STI mid pipe, and I already had the Remark axle back 4-inch tips muffler deletes. So I ended up driving my car to my girlfriend's house last night. I jacked it up. I took off the undercarriage or splash shield, took off the scrape plate, and I sprayed the shit out of the bolts. The 4 bolts, the 4 studs, the O2 sensors, the heat shield bolts, and any bracket bolts. Sprayed the piss out of them so they could soak overnight. So now I'm headed back over there to do this install. I went with the STI mid pipe because the remark mid pipe was just fucking hell of expensive, and it's back ordered till the end of February, and I didn't want to wait. The whole reason I wanted the remark mid pipe wasn't because of the 3 inches, but because of the resonator. Well, the STI mid pipe comes with a resonator. I was like, well, shit, I might as well do that. It's like half the price. So I went with the STI mid pipe, and I will show you the comparison of the STI mid pipe to the stock WRX mid pipe, and then we'll go from there. But yo, let's go get this shit done. All right, so there she is. Here's my STI mid pipe. The whole reason I'm getting a mid pipe is because this bad boy, the 18-inch resonator. This resonator will get rid of that raspiness. So I got that. It was way cheaper than going with the remark. I also thought about getting a vibrant resonator and then having it welded on my mid pipe, but the 18-inch vibrant resonator is like $100, and then to get it welded on is about $100. I mean, after taxes and shipping and everything, it's probably gonna be around like $220 to go that route, where this cost me $250. So why not just go with a brand new STI mid pipe and it's perfect fitment. So here is the Grimmspeed J pipe. Looks pretty good. I ordered this on January 6th and I just got it. It was in the welding process. The welds on it. Those are real good. And this is going to come with, I ordered the adapter since I'm going with the STI mid pipe, which is only 2.5 inches or like 2 1/4, something like that. So I needed this adapter. Here's the hardware for that. Then it also comes with the gaskets. This is for the catback, the gasket. So that gasket will go on this side, and the donut gasket will go on this side. And this is obviously for the turbo. But I also ended up getting these. So these are the Reflex Gaskets. I'm currently using these for my axle backs. I tried the vibrant gaskets. I had an exhaust leak at the axle back. I tried Grimmspeed 7-layer gaskets. I had a slight exhaust leak. It was better, but I still had one. So I went ahead and got these Reflex gaskets. If you watch my my remark axle back video, I get into detail on why I chose these. But yeah, these work like a charm. So I got another pair because since I'm taking off that mid pipe, I can't reuse the gaskets on there. So I needed to get more of these. So I got these. I did ended up getting another just super OEM donut gasket. Mine's probably good on the car, but fuck it, replace all gaskets. Then I got this to help take off those O2 sensors. And then I got this loctite copper up to 800 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna put these on the studs or the bolts that I put on the J pipe. So the next time if I have to take it off, like in the future, if I have to take it off to take off the turbo, to get the header off, to throw on a killer bee header or something like that, they'll come off a lot easier. And obviously you need some kind of PV blaster, but I told you how much I've soaked mine, so yeah. Got me this breaker bar, and let's do it. So I'm not gonna go over how to take this out. I did a detailed video on that when I did my front mount intercooler. But just to recap, you're gonna have 3 clips, bam, bam, bam. Same with the other side. Bam, bam, bam. You're gonna have 3 clips in the front right here. And then you're gonna have a series of clips going around your scrape plate. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're gonna have like 2 bolts right there. And to take this off, it's just 4 bolts. They're all 12 millimeters. If you haven't watched my front mount intercooler video, I did that probably about 6 days ago. When the car was jacked up, I also sprayed liquid wrench on the bolts and nuts and all that stuff back then. And I let it soak for 24 hours. So essentially I did it twice, last week and then I did it this week. So now let's just see if these bolts come out. So all those have been soaking for about 15 hours. O2 sensors, those bolts, even the ones back there. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this bottom heat shield off, which is this bolt, this bolt, this bolt, and this bolt. If you can see, these 2 bolts, they're 10 millimeters, easily accessible. This one, it's gonna be at an angle just barely, but it's enough, it's on there. But be careful because you're gonna be against this stud, so you don't wanna put too much pressure that way. This one back here is the same thing. You can get it on there, but it's slightly at an angle. That's why you use a 6-point. And make sure all these are soaked with PB Blaster before you do all this. You want the longer it soaks, the better. But this one, be careful because it's against that stud. But these heat shield bolts shouldn't be on there that tight. I cracked this one already. Now I'm going to keep all these heat shield bolts and studs because essentially I want to reuse this heat shield. This whole heat shield I want to reuse. So I'm hoping I can reuse it. So we'll see. That PB Blaster or liquid wrench from soaking last night. But yeah, step 1 done. All right, next thing we're gonna do is remove these 2 bolts to get the rest of this bottom heat shield off. Oh, that one's off. So now we got the heat shield off. Now, in order to get the top of the heat shields off, we have to remove these O2 sensors. So that is what I have this tool for. I'm going to try to do it with my small ratchet. If it doesn't work, then I have this adapter with the breaker bar. So I don't know if you can see, but it's clipped on right here. So I can't get this on because of the wire. So I have to unclip it from this bracket. So just get some needle nose and squeeze it. And pop that out just like that. Man, I can't tell if you guys see it or not. Hopefully that's a better angle. I slip that piece on. And let's see if it breaks off. Oh yeah, that came off easy. So you're gonna unplug the O2 sensor. Right there. All you do is push this tab in and pull out. But now that that's loose, I can unscrew that. Alright, got that out. Now this was the one closest to the turbo, so I'll just remember that. So now we want to do the same exact thing for the back one. Right here, it's plugged up back there, the green one. So it's a tight fit, so while I pull it, I'm gonna use this to get to the other side just to push that clip in. So there it is, same concept. Push this in push that, I don't know if you see it. Push this clip in, pull out. But it's a tight fit, so I just use this to go in there and apply pressure on the clip while I pulled, because I couldn't get my other hand up in there. But yep, that's out. Now same thing, just get this. That one was a little harder than the other one, but we got it. Now I'm gonna go up there with a wrench to twist it off. Both heat shields off, O2 sensors are off. We're gonna take this ground off. Now before we can take this top bracket off, we are going to have to take this bracket off, which is this bolt right here. So you're gonna have to go from the top. And then there's one on this side, if you can see. That bolt up there. You're gonna need a 6-inch extension. It's a 14mm. There it is. To get this one out, we're gonna have to go from the top of the car and get it right there. So you're gonna need a super long extension. Probably a 12-inch. With a 6-inch, and go from the top of the car to get that. I'll do that now. Alright, so there's one more bolt we got to take off for that bracket, and I'll show you right here. It is right here. So when we came from the top, we took that bolt off. You can see it right here. Go over to the other side. There's one right here. And we'll do that from the top also. So that bolt is going to be a 12. I have to use a deep socket because my 2-inch extension is too long. I'm just going down there like that. The top of the car. And bam, I'm gonna take it off like that. Alright, once you got those 3 bolts off, you can take that bracket off now.
We just got out of the bath.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
Oh, nice. Nice and clean now?
Cherry?
Smell like cherries.
And lemon.
Oh, nice. 3 bolts. Bracket came off. Now we can take this top shield off. So. Let's see. There's 2 more bolts up here. The one on the other side, you're gonna have to use a wrench. The stud broke off on that one. This was the only one that I didn't spray with a liquid wrench. The stud broke off. Alright, yep, got that one off. Now since I got that off, I should be able to take this one off. All right. So that sucked ass. I know a lot of people cut it, bend it, break it. But yeah, that sucks. What I did, so these two studs were in these holes. So what I did is I popped this side out first, popped it out. Then I forced this side up and out. Once you get these two things out of the holes, then you can start maneuvering around. But it's real tight up there because of this bolt and because of this bracket. So you gotta like, just force it. Try to get it out like I did. Try to get this side up and out and then push it forward and then force it out like that. So yeah, but it was a bitch. So once again, get this side out first, then get this side out, then push it up this way and try to push it this way and try to force it out like that. But yeah, that sucked. But yeah. All right, fellas, it's the moment of truth. All the heat shield's off, everything's cool. Now we got these studs. With that heat shield off, they look a lot easier to get to. These three look easy to get to. Obviously that one up there is gonna be a bitch, but like I said, I sprayed them last night. I let them soak. I didn't spray them this morning. But remember, if you do spray them like 15 minutes, an hour, whatever before you do it, clean off the nuts, or yeah, clean off the nuts. You know what I mean? But this is my game plan. Got my breaker bar. We're gonna try to break these off. But keep in mind, I'm going to try to get the nuts off. If the stud comes off with the nut, great. But essentially, I'm just trying to get all the bolts off. I'm not going to try to force these studs off to put the Grimmspeed studs in. If the stud's not going to come off, I'm going to reuse the stock studs. To me, it's not worth it to try to get these out and snap one just to put the Grimmspeed studs in. These studs work fine as long as the threads are fine. As long as you can get your new nut and thread it all the way on these stock studs, they're fine. So if they do come out, great, but I'm not going to try to force these studs out. So my main objective right now is to just get the bolts off without stripping. Stud comes off with the bolts, great. So I'm going to start with this easy one first, to practice, I guess you can say. And then I'm going to go straight to that hard one. Looks like this one took the stud off with it. But I got that cracked. I'm not going to finish that yet. Yep, stud's coming off with this one. But I'm gonna leave it as is now, because I'm gonna do the other ones. Because if I end up breaking a stud, I'm not going to sit here and fuck with this. I'm not gonna try to drill it out and retap it. If I break a stud, I'm going to hook all this back up and I'm going to take the car to the shop and I'm going to have them remove the studs and do all that. Because to me, it's not going to be worth sitting on the car for the next 3 days trying to do all this shit. You know what I mean? So that one's cracked. Now, I'll try to do that difficult one. All right, so I'm trying to see the best way to get, like I said, these three are easily accessible now because of the shields off. But this one up here, y'all know that one. Trying to find out the best way to get it. Regardless, it looks like you're going to need a swivel. And this might be too long. It's actually a lot better. I put the 12-inch with the swivel. I took that 2-inch off. I think I got it. Yeah. Shit. The whole stud's coming off. Yeah, the whole stud's coming off. So I broke this one off and that bitch one off, and both of them, the nuts taking off the studs too. So we got 2 more to go. I know a lot of people have trouble. They get the nuts off, but then the studs don't come off, or they strip the nuts. So now I'm gonna get this top one off over here. I'm using a 6-inch extension. Yeah, that one, I don't like that. Let me see if I can just use this. Yeah. So for that one, I'm going to use my 2-inch extension. I think the less extensions you have on there, the better. Because the farther out you are, you're more prone to strip it because you're going to be at angles and stuff like that. The closer you can get to the bolt, the better. Obviously, certain ones like up there, you have to use massive extensions. But like, if you don't have to use the extensions, I wouldn't. Try to get as close to the nut as you can. This one's tough. Got it. I think. I don't know if it's. I don't know what's coming out. That one, the nut came off. The last one right here. Two-inch extension. Actually, that's in the way, so I have to use a longer one. Yeah, that's in the way. Let me try deep socket. Nope. So it looks like this one I have to use a swivel too, because this little fucking bracket right here on the header, it's not allowing me to go on that straight. So I'm gonna have to use a swivel. Got it, baby. This one, can't tell what's coming up from this one. This one looks like the stud's coming off. Yep. So 3 of them, the studs came out with the bolts. This top one though was just a bolt. So that's good enough for me. Fuck it. I'll replace these 3 with the Grimmspeed studs. I'll leave that one alone. Fuck it. It's not worth it, man. Not as a lot of people are as lucky as me to get this much off in one go. I mean, the studs came off with the bolts on 3 of them. That's fucking lucky. I'm not gonna push my luck by trying to get that stud off and then break it, and then all shit just went to hell after being this lucky, and then to break that one, that'd be fucking stupid. So I'm leaving that one alone, and I'll replace these 3. Look at that, baby. Okay, I lied. That top hard one, just the nut came off, not the stud. So 2 studs came out. What kinds?
Chocolate balls.
No, I'm good. I don't want any chocolate bars.
You want a chocolate ball?
No, I don't want a chocolate bar. I think I'll go in there and get something to eat in a little bit.
There's fruits too.
Okay. Alright, so once you get all that out, you take this top bracket off. Right. This was where you went, took that bolt off from this side that you gotta use, and then this side, you went from the top of the car, remember? That piece is in there, that piece is out. And then, look at that though, fellas. 2 studs came out. 2 bolts came out. Bam, bam. Whew. Thank God. But now, it's gravy from here. Hopefully. Oh man. Whew. Obviously, we all know that's the hardest part of the downpipe. Those studs and those nuts. Stripping the nuts or breaking the stud. Thankfully, mine came out good. Spray them, man, and let them soak. Let them soak. All right. But there it is. 2 bolts. 2 studs that came out. So I'm gonna replace these 2 with the Grimmspeed, and then replace these 2 with the Grimmspeed nuts. We're gonna call it good, man. I'm not gonna try to get those other studs out. This right here is a success in my book. All right. Fuck it. All right, now we gotta take it off from the cat. So we gotta go down over there. And then there's another bolt with bolted to the bracket on the other side. You can't really see it. But I got 2 jack stands and my jack over here. That's still enough room. But what I did was I grabbed my jacked the car up, and I put those tires on 2x4s just to get a little extra room. But then put the jack back over here. So I'm gonna go from the front of the car, get under there, and we're gonna work on that. So now we're under the car. We're deep in this bitch, man. So your J-pipe is bolted to this bracket. We're gonna take that bolt off, and then there's your catalytic converter. We're gonna have to go farther down and then take it off from the cat. So first we'll take this bolt off, which I believe is the same as the other ones, 14. Bada bing, bada boom. Now we're gonna go even farther back. Here's your catalytic converter. We're gonna take these 2 bolts off from the cat. I think they are. Okay, this is a 14, so that must be a 12. All right, I'm back. Now we're gonna pull the entire J pipe off. Got these off. Got the bolt of the bracket off. Got the bolts and studs off of the turbo. We're good to pull it all off. So that bracket is like a clip. You're gonna push the J pipe up, push that bracket over, and then come down. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's like a hook on the end. So these 2 studs, they look good. Now obviously, I want to test them. So I'm gonna get my Grimmspeed bolts. Actually, I'll do it right now. From the naked eye, they look fine. Yeah, you see that? So those studs are fine. There's no point in me trying to get these studs out and risking snapping them because these bolts work fine. So I'll replace these bottom 2 with the Grimmspeed studs and just use these 2 bolts for the top. And obviously we're gonna replace this gasket so we can take this shit off. No longer need that shit. We in there, boys. We in there, man. Good job. Keep up the good work. Here's the side-by-side comparison. Black in the front, green clip was in the back. It's color coded on underneath the car too, I think. So, but yeah. There it is. Everything should line up. Your brackets should line up. This is for if you have a aftermarket airflow ratio gauge, which I will probably be getting later on in the future. But since I don't have one now, you just plug that up with that. I didn't screw mine all the way in yet. I just put them there. This is where you can screw in that that ground that we took off. Remember? I'll show you when we install, but that's where you screw that in. But yeah, look at that. I'm gonna try to put those heat shields on the front. Is it gonna work? I have no fucking idea, but I'm gonna try to do it like that. If not, I know for a fact we can at least put this heat shield. This is one, remember we had to take that 1 bolt and go from the top of the car, or 2 bolts from the top, 1 straight, 1 down to the side. But we definitely had to put that one back on because our serpentine belt is right there. But I want to try to put those on too. So we'll see. I'm gonna try to do it. Oh yeah, and then here's that gasket. Oh, how crusty it is. See, good thing I bought a new one. I mean, is it reusable? Yeah, probably, but I wouldn't do it. I recommend anytime you replace something, man, like a part and there's a gasket involved, just replace the gasket. Gaskets are cheap anyways. But yeah, replace gaskets. Just like that. With that gasket in between there. That gasket in between there. Bam. And then that donut gasket, well, you know, the one that I bought will go here. And then the STI mid pipe. Bam. That end will go there. And Grimmspeed supplied all the bolts. Right there. Yes, sir. You wanna know what a cat looks like? Look at that. So essentially that's how it's gonna look. I just did that just to have it on there. Obviously we had to put the mid pipe on. That's how it's gonna look with your mid pipe there. All right, so finding these torque specs suck. So this, after I get all that installed and we install that, obviously I'm going to take these back off, put that on there. These get torqued down to 12 foot-pounds. Cobb states that this bung gets torqued down at 25 foot-pounds. I found on Naziak, a guy says that these get torqued down to 22.1 foot-pounds. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just torque them down to 20 foot-pounds. Now, I screwed these in, but I didn't tighten them. I put them snug. I'm gonna need to take these off because remember, my goal is to put this heat shield back on with that J-pipe. Obviously these two have to go back on, but I'm gonna try to get this on too with that. In order to do it, those O2 sensors need to be out because they go through there. So we're gonna see how it works. If not, fuck those two. And we'll just put this heat shield on. But yeah, let's try it. Don't forget to install this. I'm gonna torque it down to 25 foot-pounds. All right, so I'm gonna have to put these studs in. I know the bolts get torqued down to 28 to 32 foot-pounds, so I'll probably just do 28. I'm not sure what the studs get torqued down to. I don't really think they gotta be that tight. So, got some copper-based Loctite though. They screwed all the way down. So what I'm gonna do is the double nut technique. Yeah, so that was good. See, so I can't get that one out. Dead. And you can take them off. See, now that one's on. I can't get that one off my finger either. So they're in there. They're not in there super, super tight, but they're in there. So I think the easiest way to do it is to lift your J-pipe up, get it on the studs, just get maybe one bolt in, then go to the cap where that bracket is and then put that bolt in so it can stay up. But yeah, if you're wondering why I'm wearing safety glasses, it's because I just got LASIK done. And I'm not trying to fuck my brand new eyes up, alright? But me putting that donut gasket on back there, no bueno. Unless your mid-pipe's already off, then you don't have enough room to hook it up to the bracket. So don't put that donut gasket on and that adapter yet. But I got it on that bracket back there. It's on right here. I'm going to put this bottom nut on. I still gotta do Loctite, but so put that on just to hold it up. This bracket has to go back on. Remember, this was on this side. We went from the top of the car to take that bolt off. It goes through here. The best way to do this is to go over here through the header, pop it through the header, or between the header. Then you can fish it through the top. Like so. Then once you get it there, you're gonna have to twist it this way to put it under this. Then it goes on. We're going to do this bolt first. I'm gonna put Loctite. Great thing about this pipe is, remember how to use that long ass extension? We don't gotta do that shit no more. We got plenty of room. So I got them all snug. They're not tight, they're just snug. So now I'm gonna try to get that bolt up in that one. All right, guys, first real issue of the day. Good thing it's not even a big issue. I don't think we need the bolt, but I got these snug, right? This one lines up, so I can go from the top and screw that in. Once I put, where is it? This bracket up there. But this bolt hole just does not fucking line up. I don't know if you can see it right there. It just does not line up. So I don't know. The hole just doesn't line up. And it's not that it needs to go this way, it needs to go this way. But it can't because it's in, like, I don't know, I just don't get it. But yeah, I'm not gonna be able to put a bolt in there. But it's fine because it's bolted right here to the turbo. Then it's gonna be bolted to this bracket from the top. So I guess it gets no bolt. Goes like this, bolts down right here. And then remember, to the side over here. This one gets to 12. This one gets to 14 from the top. But I wanna try to put my OEM heat shields on. So let me figure out how to do that. All right, so for the last 30 minutes, I've been trying to figure out, come up with a mastermind plan to put the stock heat shields back up here. I failed. The issue is I can get them on here, but there's nowhere to tie them down to because all the brackets for the heat shield are on the old fucking pipe. Bam. In here. So yeah, I have nowhere to buckle them to. So now I'm gonna have to get some titanium wrap and do it while the J-pipe's on the car because I don't want to take it off again. Even though it'll be easy because I just put it on, so I mean it's not like it's gonna be hard to take it off, but I'd rather not take it off again and just leave it on. So I will invest in some titanium wrap. And I'll wrap it while it's on the car. And I'll just wrap it all the way down to about here. I'll either do that or I'll get gold tape. The only thing I mean I have a front mount intercooler, so heat soaking isn't a big issue for me. My only issue is the belt will obviously get heat shield from this. But this coolant radiator hose right here, this hose right here, and this hose. So I can either gold wrap those hoses or I can just titanium wrap the pipe. I don't like using titanium wrap. Yeah, I'll probably just do it like that. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So for now though, these are still snug. I didn't tie them down. I'm gonna torque these down now. I'm gonna torque them down to, what'd I say, 20 foot-pounds. Now we can put this heat shield on. This heat shield is what protects this serpentine belt. This just goes on, let's see, like this. Because remember, this goes right there. So you put that up, and then this part goes on top of here. Just like that. There we go, finally. Alright, so I got them both in. This one from the top 14. This one I used a deep socket and a ratchet. It was a 12. Got them both from the top. That's on there. That's gonna protect that serpentine belt. Now I need to plug in these O2 sensors. Black one in the front. And remember, these are, the bung is 25. I think that's too much for this. I've seen on Naziak, the dude said 22.1. Damn. Tell you what, this thing, dude, this thing is great, man. And this clip goes back in here. Make sure you plug them in all the way. This now, your ground, you have right here on here, so you can screw that on there. I gotta find the damn screw though. Grimmspeed supplies one. Alright, so we got O2 sensors torqued down, plugged in. This plugged in. These torqued down to 26. Got this bracket, heat shield to cover the servitude belt. We're done, man. We're done. Now it's time to go down there and do the mid pipe. But in order for me to do that, I need to fucking lower the front of the car and then jack the back of the car up. If I just had 4 jack stands, but I only had 2, so poor planning on my part. Yeah, whatever. My phone is gonna die. Show them what you're working with, babe. Show them what you're working with. Alright, my phone is going to die, and obviously I need to record this for you guys, so I need to charge it. So I'm going to take a break, charge my phone. Alright fellas, so all I did off camera was eat some pizza like a fat ass. But I ended up lowering the front of the car. And I jacked up the back of the car. And I took my mid pipe out. So obviously when we took our J pipe out, we already did half of it. But taking that end off, catalytic converter. So all you have to do now is go take it off from the axle back. And I'm pretty sure if a lot of you are installing a J pipe, then you probably already have an aftermarket axle back. But if you don't, you can refer to my remark axle back video and it'll show you how to do that. But here's a comparison of the stock WRX 2019 mid pipe and the 2019 STI's mid pipe. Bam. It's a perfect fit. Obviously the difference is the big ass resonator. But it might look like the STI's is longer. Right? Kind of looks like that. But if I swap it around and put the OEM one on top of the STI's, watch. Now the OEM one looks longer. So they're identical. Let me do it side by side. So yeah, just take those 4 bolts off, take it off, and it's gonna be on a hanger. You're gonna need this. You're gonna swap that over to there. But I want to show you my Reflex Gaskets. They crush. So you see, I was getting exhaust leaks because the bottom of this remark is bowed out a little bit farther than the top. You see that? So I was getting exhaust leaks at the bottom, but with this Reflex, it crushed all the way in and it stopped that exhaust leak. I'm gonna have to clean all that off before I put the new one. But yeah, this one was pretty good all around. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to clean these up before I put the new ones on. But as you can tell, like I said, you're gonna have to cut the new ones. I had to cut that out a little bit more, a little deeper. Same with this one, I cut it a little bit deeper. I left the whole side alone, and then this side I just cut deeper because it didn't line up. Alright, so hook it up on the hanger. I hooked it up, the mid pipe to the cat back, but I didn't bolt it down or nothing like that. I just put the bolts on so it's holding still. I'm gonna focus on the axle back first, get that bolted down, get the gaskets cut and get those put on. Then I can steal the jack from that side of the car, bring it over here, put it on this side of the car, lift this up, and then have enough room to go under there to do the mid pipe to the cat back. All right, let's do it. All right, so this is what I mean. See, if I line that hole up, see the other side? It's not lined up. I have to get this and cut it down some more for it to line up. You're gonna reuse your bolts that you got when you did your axle back. If you didn't do your axle back, reuse your stock ones. Now always before you tighten down your axle backs, you want to make sure your mufflers are centered because you don't want them offset. See, I don't like that. It needs to go up like that. So I will hold this up with my knee probably and then tighten it down. Yep, they look pretty good right there. So now I'm gonna just tighten that down all the way, and then I'm gonna do the exact same to the other side. All right, fellas, home stretch, baby. Here it is. Looks good. See, I need to use those Reflex because I think my remark flange is blowed that way a little bit. So this thick gasket needs to be there. Yep, looks good. Now all you gotta do is that over there. You can steal that jack that side way the fuck up so it has some room to get under there to do those. I think we torqued those down at 12 foot-pounds. So I just went ahead and put the mid pipe on. Sorry for no video. Because I forgot, bolt that in. That's the bolt that's holding the J-pipe to the bracket. I need to tighten that down. And then last step, we need to take that restrictor pill out. All right, motherfuckers, we are at the home stretch, baby. We at the home stretch. Restrictor pill, load the map. We're done, man. Let me show you where that shit's at. So, here's your turbo inlet. You know, your bypass valves up here. So you got this T-fitting. And it's this line right here. This one. So we're gonna take this clamp. Oh, you can see that pill in there. Bam, you see it? Boom, right there. So you're gonna get your needle nose or some kind of pliers, and you're gonna go behind it. And squeeze the line. Try to push it out. You can feel it coming. See how close it is now? There it is, boys. Got a little last thing. Now just pop the line back on. Yo, we are officially done. Clean up your entire mess. And then, you know, every once in a while, you just gotta sit here, admire what you just did. The pain, the struggle, the black eye, the bloody knuckles. It's all worth it at the end, boys. It's all worth it. Man, that looks good. All the way down. I got that resonator. Can't wait to see what it sounds like. Yes, sir. Jay approved.